When people ask which earth sign Scorpios are most attracted to, the conversation usually turns into a debate. Some swear it's Taurus, others insist it's Virgo, and just as many will argue Capricorn is the only real answer. So, which earth sign has the strongest hold on a Scorpio? Let's take a closer look. Taurus. The attraction between Scorpio and Taurus often feels immediate. This isn't because they have similar personalities. In fact, they're complete opposites on the zodiac wheel. Taurus and Scorpio sit directly across from one another, creating one of astrology's strongest polarities. Scorpio naturally lives beneath the surface. They analyze motives, search for hidden meanings, and instinctively notice the emotional currents that most people miss. Taurus approaches life differently, grounded, present, and deeply connected to what is tangible and real. And that's exactly what makes Taurus so magnetic. Scorpios aren't usually drawn to Taurus because they're mysterious. They're drawn to Taurus because they feel solid. That steady presence offers something many Scorpios rarely experience, the feeling that they don't have to keep searching for what's hidden beneath the surface. Around Taurus, attraction becomes less about solving a puzzle and more about simply being. Taurus speaks to Scorpio's instincts before ever reaching their mind. That's why the chemistry between these two often feels physical, visceral, and difficult to explain. It's not an attraction built through endless analysis. It's something both people simply feel. Virgo. If Taurus speaks to Scorpio's instincts, Virgo speaks to something entirely different, their mind. Virgo rarely reveals everything they're thinking all at once, not because they're trying to be mysterious, but because they're naturally selective. They observe first, speak carefully, and tend to keep their inner world private until trust has been earned. For Scorpio, that's incredibly compelling. Scorpio is naturally drawn to what isn't immediately obvious. They enjoy understanding people beyond the surface, noticing what others miss, and slowly piecing together someone's inner world. Virgo doesn't intentionally create that experience, but often does simply by being themselves. Ruled by Mercury, Virgo is analytical, perceptive, and thoughtful. They notice patterns, pay attention to details, and often understand situations long before they say anything about them. Rather than wearing their emotions on their sleeve, they process them internally. That quiet restraint gives Scorpio something to explore. Their conversations often become one of the strongest sources of attraction. Scorpio enjoys exploring motivations and searching for the deeper meaning behind people's actions. Virgo is one of the few signs that can genuinely keep up. Instead of becoming overwhelmed by those conversations, they often offer observations that are just as insightful. Over time, the attraction becomes less about first impressions and more about discovery. The more Scorpio learns about Virgo, the more they realize there's always another layer waiting beneath the surface. Every conversation answers one question while quietly creating another. What begins as simple curiosity slowly becomes fascination. Virgo doesn't overwhelm Scorpio's emotions, they quietly occupy Scorpio's thoughts. Capricorn. If Virgo captures Scorpio's mind, Capricorn captures something entirely different: their respect. From the very beginning, Capricorn often carries a quiet confidence. They don't seem interested in proving themselves, seeking attention, or convincing other people of their worth. They simply focus on their goals and let their actions speak for themselves. Scorpio notices that immediately. Few things impress Scorpio more than genuine self mastery. They understand how difficult it is to remain disciplined under pressure, master your emotions, and stay committed to a long term vision. When Scorpio sees those qualities in Capricorn, they recognize someone who has developed real inner strength rather than simply talking about it. Their connection is built differently than the other earth signs. With Capricorn, they feel admiration. There's often an unspoken understanding between them. Scorpio's intensity is directed inward toward emotional depth and psychological transformation. Capricorn channels that same intensity, resilience, and mastery. They may express themselves differently, but each recognizes something familiar in the other: the willingness to endure discomfort in pursuit of something meaningful. For Scorpio, trust is never given lightly. Capricorn understands that without demanding reassurance or trying to force intimacy. Their consistency, reliability, and quiet competence allow trust to develop naturally over time. Capricorn doesn't ask for Scorpio's respect. They've usually earned it long before Scorpio realizes they're giving it. So, which earth sign is Scorpio most attracted to? I don't think there's a single answer. Taurus offers peace. Virgo offers discovery. Capricorn offers admiration. And depending on where Scorpio is in life, any one of those attractions can become the strongest. Of course, this is only looking at each sign in isolation. In real life, no one is just their sun sign. A Scorpio with strong earth placements may experience these dynamics very differently than a Scorpio with a chart full of fire or air. The full birth chart will always tell a much richer story. I'm curious what you've seen. If you're a Scorpio, which earth sign has left the biggest impression on you? And if you're a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, what has your experience with Scorpio been like? Did any of this resonate, or was your story completely different? I'd love to hear your perspective, because sometimes the most interesting part of astrology isn't the theory, it's the stories that either confirm it or challenge it.